Then that way, okay.
Okay, we're good.
Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your name and DLC number for the record?
Christopher Fairchild, 207479.
Mr. Fairchild, my name is Miss Layson, and on camera are my colleagues, Mr. James and Mr. DeGlow, and we are the 3 parole board members that are responsible for conducting your parole eligibility hearing today. I understand that by statute, you had to serve 85% of your time, and this is your first time seeing a board. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
With that being in mind, I would like to tell you what we're going to do today. First, I'll read information that's on your residential record card. You'll let me know whether or not it's accurate. In the event that you find discrepancies, we will defer you to the proper people with the Department of Corrections because the parole board does not correct residential record cards. We'll talk about the crimes in which you have been convicted of and the reason why you are before the board today. We'll talk about any prior arrest record that you have. I did see a little something about you being on probation in 2009 and that
Yes.
you had violated probation. So we might talk a little bit about why you violated probation in the past. I do see that you have a GED. And we'll talk about any programs that you have had the opportunity to complete and how those programs may benefit you in the future. Because this is an opportunity for parole, we will want to know things like what are your future plans? Where will you live? Where will you work? Do you have support in the community? Those type of things. And then once we ask you all the questions that we have to ask, we will give you an opportunity to address the board. At that point in time, if there's information that you would like for us to have that you feel like is pertinent to our decision-making process, you will be allowed to address the board at that period of time.
Yes.
Once you have addressed the board, Mr. James, Mr. Deglow, and I, we will go off the screen, go into what we call a breakout room, discuss your case, we'll come back and render a decision.
Okay.
At any time, if you have questions, you're not clear on the what we've asked, just ask us to clarify. We'll slow down, give you an opportunity to answer the question so you can have a fair hearing. Okay, sir?
Yes.
All right. First, I'm going to read information on your residential record card. As previously stated, we do not correct residential record cards. If there's a mistake, please talk with the people at the Department of Corrections. They'll be able to help you with that. I have you listed as 41-year-old Christopher Fairchild, DLC number 207479. You are currently in medium custody at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex, where you are serving a 35-year sentence after being convicted of robbery second degree, murder, complicity, violent crime, receiving stolen property over $300, receiving stolen property over $300, tampering with physical evidence, complicity, assault under extreme emotional disturbance with a PFO second enhancement. You have served approximately 18 years and 11 months of that sentence. You have approximately 11 years and 2 months remaining. You have 639 restorable good time days lost. You have 71 meritorious good time days lost.
Yes.
You've not been on parole, and you do not have any detainers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the reason why you are sitting in that chair today, and what did you do? Let's talk about this 2002 robbery first. What did you do?
I stole the purse. She held up, when I grabbed it, she just held on to it a little, and they charged me with robbery.
Robbery second.
Yes.
So you didn't have a weapon or anything?
No, it was a purse.
But did you threaten to harm her?
No.
Okay. All right. So then what were you, out on bond or on probation when you caught this other charge?
It was a probation.
And then you get yourself into some pretty big trouble here.
Yes.
So tell us about this 2006 CR 144 indictment with this murder, receiving stolen property, 2 counts, and tampering with physical evidence. What did you do?
Yes, I went to James Mullet, my victim's house, to trade a muzzle loader. I ended up shooting him. As I entered the residence, he jumped up and said, "You told on me." And I know what he meant now, because at trial, it was a Randy Fairchild that told on him, got him busted. He thought it was me, and I ended up shooting my friend that day, and I denied it for many years. And I'm here to man up about it. I did shoot him
So
that day.
Mr. Mudlett was your friend?
Yes. He was
So when he said that you told on him, what did he mean by that?
He got busted for selling weed and pills 2 weeks prior to that. And it was a Randy Fairchild that got him busted. So he thought it was me. And when I entered that house that day to trade him the muzzle loader, I ended up shooting him.
So you go in there with the muzzle loader,
Yes.
and you had somebody with you. Who did you have with you?
My co-defendant, Tommy Baldridge.
So were you all going to sell him this weapon?
Yes, we was going to trade it for some weed.
You go in there to sell him this weapon, and he confronts you. He's like,
He just
I
jumps
know
up.
you. Mm-hmm.
He jumps up off the couch and said, "You told on me, you son of a B."
Mm-hmm.
I admit, he didn't have no weapon or nothing. I was just scared. I shot him.
Why were you afraid of him?
I mean, he was my weed dealer. I was young and stupid. It just happened so quick. I can't explain it. It's just happened so quick. And when he said that, it shocked me so bad, because I come here to trade for some weed, and it shocked me. It's just something that spurred the moment, and I denied it for many years. And I'm here to take responsibility. I shot Mr. James
What were
Mullet.
the receiving stolen properties? Was that weapon, was it stolen?
No, it was a four-wheeler, because me and my
Okay.
co-defendant got dropped off there because we was ginseng hunting, and we come out at Mr. Mullet's home. We was going to trade him the muzzle loader, and we freaked out because we had no way to get back out of there, because we got dropped off, and we was going to get picked back up at 7. So we freaked out. We hopped on the four-wheeler and got lost, and it was a whole mess. And I denied it for many years, even during trial. I was young and I was a coward and didn't want to admit to it. But I'm a hard times humbled my heart, and I'm here to take accountability no matter what happens today.
Okay, well, we're going to continue to talk about it just a little bit, but what was the tampering with physical evidence?
We tried to hide the four-wheeler.
Oh, okay. And you also have this assault under extreme emotional disturbance?
Yes. I punched Trish Kembler. See, I ain't trying to make no excuses, but I don't want people to think I just go around and punch women. I lost my child the month before. I was going to my dad's house, and my wife seen her coming down the roadway. She got out arguing, and she told my wife, "I'm glad you lost your child, you B." And before I knew it, I'd punched her. She fell down, and I punched her again. And I'm sorry. It's killed me, because I hold doors for women. I don't punch women. It's hurt my heart the whole time. It's just, I was so wrapped up in the stress from shooting my friend. And like I said, I ain't trying to take no reason for it. They ain't. I'm here to man up. I just don't want people to think I go around shooting people or punching women. A lot of stress.
What happened to your child?
He only lived 15 minutes. We buried him the month before that. It's just something that is a lot of stress. I wanted to turn myself in, but I had a co-defendant, and then here I would be telling on him too. It's just a lot of stuff that's boiled up. He's out now.
Well, Mr. Fairchild, unfortunately, when we're going through life, things happen, and there's going to be times when something's going to just happen again. Up, how are you going to be able to control your anger?
I took every class, MRT that I can take up. I couldn't hardly read and write when I come in. I got my GED now. Okay. I've been taking care of dogs. They depend on me.
Well, we're gonna talk about some of that. Let's go and talk about your prior record before this happened, okay? So you had some alcohol intoxications. You did actually had a couple of other assaults before. Do you just, you get mad periodically and
No, I was just young and thought I needed to prove to be tough. If somebody done something to me, I thought I needed to have the cool friends and be tough. I found out in life you don't need all that. Just be yourself.
you had obviously had a drug and alcohol addiction as well?
Yes, I smoked weed and drunk. Yes,
How long you been sober?
for probably 7 years. I had a little mishap about 3 years ago with Suboxone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to.
looking at your priors and it
Yes,
does seem like, you had some unauthorized use.
yeah.
Um, you had some possession of dangerous contraband charges, disciplinaries as well.
It was alcohol.
Okay. But you haven't had any disciplinaries for the last 2 years,
No.
almost. Been clear conduct.
Yes,
That's
this time it's broke me and it's grown me as a man, and I've tried to take advantage of it. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's bettered me as a person in my heart too.
well, you had began talking about these programs when I was asking you about how you were going to handle some of these things in the future. And you've done a lot of programs. You've done MRT parenting, MRT anger management, MRT trauma, getting started, seeking safety, MRT thinking for good. You've done a lot of good stuff. And
Thank you.
the Department of Corrections offers these programs, and we hope that people take
Take
advantage of
advantage.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us which one of these programs that you feel like has helped you the most and will benefit you if you're granted the privilege of parole supervision.
The regular MRT, the 12 steps, it takes you
Mm-hmm.
accountability for what you've done and makes you really think about life. Because I never knew what a goal or plan was. All I knew about was hard work and try to look cool in front of friends, but it sets goals for you in life. I have a goal in life. I want to take advantage of all the halfway house. I could go back to where I'm from, but there's not many jobs, and plus it's the environment. And I've seen so many people come back off going where they're from. I need to readjust if y'all let me out. I need to
Well,
take
I do
advantage
want
of
to ask
everything.
you a question about Mr. Mullet's family. Have
Yes.
you had do you know his family?
No, not personally. No, I have
Okay.
seen them. They come in
What
from
type of
Ohio.
impact? What type of impact do you think this crime has had on the family?
I said, they probably can never forgive me because I can't forgive myself. I can't believe I was so young and stupid. I should have never even been there trying to trade a muzzleloader for weed. I'm sure I took their loved one away. I could never, I don't even know. I can't even explain how it could hurt them. There's no way to explain it. Taking someone away. I lost my mom in there and there ain't no words for it. I can only imagine losing theirs. It eats me
If
up
you
every
could
day.
say something to his family, what would you say?
I regret it. I'm totally sorry. I denied it for many years because I was a coward and didn't want nobody to know that I'd shot and killed someone. But now I'm trying to change, and I'm going to do whatever it takes, regardless of what happens today, to better myself. I'm trying to be a better person each and every day.
If you're granted parole, where will you live?
A halfway house, because I need to take
Okay.
advantage of how they can help me readjust and get a job. And the world's changed out there a lot. I ain't even never had a cell phone, so I need to readjust. I need that stability in my life. I'm willing to do any job if it's picking up pop cans, shining shoes, anything. But I know I need that help to readjust. I want to be part of a community.
Mr. Fairchild, the board does want to acknowledge that we received letter of support on your behalf, sir.
I got
So
people.
you'll go to a halfway house, and the halfway house that you are planning on going to, does it have a substance abuse treatment program there?
I'm sure it does. It's Central Kentucky. And that's where I got a church mom that I met in here years ago. It's been by my side and it's made me a better person. I just want to do good in life.
What's a church mom? Tell us what that
She's
is.
just a woman that loves everybody. Angel on this earth. That's what
Mhm.
she is.
So she's a volunteer at the institution that comes in and,
Yeah, at the women's prison. She's just,
okay.
I was locked up with her son in here and she started sending me cards because in here I ain't got many people, but my dad, he can't read and write. So I don't get
Mhm.
mail. And she started. That's how it started.
Yeah, it's okay.
She's,
It's nice to know that there are people out there that care.
it is, especially in
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
In here, you're outside to the world.
Mr. Fairchild, you said that you've been sober for about 6 years.
Yes.
And because I did, I looked over your programming and I don't see where you have done a substance abuse treatment program. And, is that something that you would be willing to do to
I'm
continue to maintain your sobriety?
anything that could better my life and keep me out of here, I'm willing to do.
Okay. Well, you've been locked up for 18 years or more. Do you have a support system out there?
I have my church mom, my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I need the halfway house, something that could readjust me. I need to take advantage because in here I see so many people. Like I'm from Johnson County, there's not many jobs there. So I need to go where there's jobs and I can better myself and just a fresh start.
What kind of work can you do?
I'm carpentry, any kind of hard work. Like I said, if it's picking up pop cans, I'm going to do it. Stay out of here.
So tell us about this for pausability program that you're in and how's that helping you?
Oh man, you take care of little puppies and you train them, and when you even wake up in here, they're so happy, they're depending on you, looking at you. It just keeps you in trouble and gives you something. You take care of them, they depend on you. I can only imagine having a kid. It humbles you. You want something in life. You don't care if people think you're cool or tough. You want to keep them.
Okay.
You gotta let them go.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you had an opportunity to do that program as well, sir. At this time, I don't have any other questions for you. I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues and see if they have anything that they would like to ask you. Mr. James, do you have any questions for Mr. Fairchild?
I don't have any questions for Mr. Fairchild. I just want to just thank you for your candidness about and accepting responsibility for what you've done.
Accountability, man. It's the only way we can grow.
Yeah, proud of you completing the programming you completed, also getting your GED was a big,
Thank you, man.
major
Yeah.
step.
Thank you.
But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. DeGlow, do you have anything?
I would like to say exactly what my colleagues have said in that, you've done well in the programming and trying to get yourself prepared for your release. I am a little bit confused by some things that you've said. In reading the pre-sentence report, in comparison to what you've said, you said you went there to sell him the firearm, and
Yes.
in the moment he was frustrated with you mistakenly for turning him in. Is that right? And then
Yes.
you said you took his four-wheeler as a means to escape, and that was it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, reading the pre-sentence report, it contends that the victim's wallet was missing.
And some change.
Huh?
We tried to make it look like a robbery because we didn't know what to do. We freaked out.
So you did steal his wallet.
Yeah, it was on the table. We grabbed it and it's a bottle of change. So we just took it to make it look like a robbery because I knew him. I was scared. I didn't want nobody to put me to the crime. I was a coward. I should have stayed there.
Right. And it shows that his pockets were taken out, and that was to try to fool people into thinking this was a robbery.
It's a robbery. Yes.
Right. But okay. Because originally, if I wasn't mistaken, you said you took his four-wheeler.
Yes,
And
to get
that
away.
that was to get away. And then
Yes.
reading this, it sounds a little bit different from what you originally acknowledged.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm here to man up to all of it. What
Right.
we did, everything. I got
Right.
nothing to hide, no
Yes,
matter
sir.
what happens today.
And I share the same concerns. I see there's 2 prior assault in the 4th degree convictions and multiple prior assault in the 4th degrees that were dismissed.
Family members, just,
How have you learned to cope with your anxieties or your anger or whatever it is? How are you?
programs, and it has times humbled my heart, man. I used to think I had to be tough, especially when we got drunk. Somebody disrespect me, I thought I had to be tough. I don't need none of that.
Right.
I just need my freedom and just be humble in life and treat people the way I want to be treated, with love and respect.
Fairchild, what do you think if someone were to kill your brother? What do you think is a fair amount of time for that person to be in custody?
I can't, the rest of their life could not be enough. I hope they're like me, that wake up every day judging themselves and can't believe how stupid they was. I can only imagine if someone killed. I know the family probably hate me. I just, I can only imagine, man, because I wake up at myself so mad and stupid for what I did. And I hope the family finds it in their heart to forgive me. But I can't forgive myself, so I can only imagine what they think.
Understood. All right. Well, I appreciate your answer and the efforts you've made to improve yourself for sure.
Thank you, man.
Is that all, Mr. Dickow?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Fairchild, before we go off camera and discuss your case, is there anything that you would like to say to the board today?
I thank you here today because I know you got a hard job trying to let people out that you don't know it's going to reoffend. But I can tell you all this today. I will not reoffend. I will do whatever it takes legal wise to stay out of here. This is my first time in prison and my only time. I can tell you all that. And I thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. If you'll remain seated, we're going to go off camera, discuss your case, and we'll come back with a decision.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay, Mr. Fairchild, can you still see and hear us?
Yes.
This board has made a decision due to seriousness, violence involved, a life-taking crime involved, a firearm, a deadly weapon or instrument, prior misdemeanor convictions, poor institutional adjustment, history of drug and alcohol involvement, and a history of assaultive behavior. We are going to defer your sentence at this time. Mr. Fairchild, this board could have deferred you up to 60 months. If we couldn't have reached a decision, we could have taken it back to the full board, which could have given you 120 months. We are not going to be looking at either of those. Your period of deferment will be for 24 months. During that 24-month period of time, we expect you to follow any and all Department of Corrections recommendations, more specifically due to the fact that you were under the influence when this crime was committed, and you have had some use of intoxicants while you have been incarcerated. We are going to recommend that you finish the SAP program, sir.
Okay, I understand.
And continue to maintain clear conduct because you
Right.
started off kind of rough.
Yeah.
And
Hard
yes.
lesson. Yes.
Yes.
I
So
understand.
you tapered down. So, just keep all of that stuff in mind. And when you come back before the next board, we think that you're going to look better.
Thank you. God bless you.
And
Good luck,
thank
Mr.
you.
Fairchild.
Good luck,
Have a good
sir.
one.
Look,
Yeah.
sir,
Is the staff
Recording
member in
stopped.
there?
No.
can you bring
Okay,
him
Yeah.
in?
So we
A blind.
have,
Okay,
we have, let me get over here.
okay.